Peace, it is Terrell Lion Martial Arts Academy. I'm back with another video, another breakdown. Alright, something I hear a lot, Wing Chun punches have no power. It's true and it's false. Alright, so this is the reason why Wing Chun punches have no power. Let's get into these exercises, alright? First thing first, we have to make sure that our structural integrity is on par. We have to make sure that our technique and our kinetic linking is perfect. Because if you do not have proper technique, you will not be able to generate enough power to deliver hard-hitting strikes. Alright, so first and foremost, we do make sure that we get into triangle stance and that our feet are well rooted, well planted. We punch, elbows down, aiming with the top two knuckles of our fist. The reason why you want to aim with the top two knuckles is because those are the two bones that lead to the entire forearm, thus giving you structural integrity. This also allows your shoulder to be down in your socket with the elbow down, allowing the energy to flow and making it so that it is a connection between the knuckles to the wrist, to the entire forearm, to the elbow, up to the shoulder, up to the chest, abdominal region, and all the way down into the ground through the legs. All right, we need to make sure that all of this is connected, and so we're throwing punches and that is perfectly aligned, and our technique is perfect. If the technique is not perfect, you will not be able to generate power for any extended amount of time. So make sure your technique is perfect. Once we get our technique down perfectly, now we want to work on some resistance training. That means you need to punch a heavy bag. The general rule for heavy bag is whatever your weight is, cut it in half, round up, and that is the heavy bag that you should be using, or at least start out using. All right, so say you weigh 150, half of your weight is 75. You round up to the next 50, which happens to be 100. So that means that the heavy bag that you should be using if you are at 150 is a 100-pound heavy bag. If you are at 200, half of your weight is 100, round up to the next 50, which is 150. So that means the heavy bag that you should be using is an 150-pound heavy bag. Now that is for the heavyweights, because 200 pounds is a heavyweight. Extra heavyweight is anything over that, okay? But that's the general rule. Obviously, if you are 150, you can punch at a 150-pound heavy bag if you wish. But just make sure that you start out at the 100-pound heavy bag. For children, they should start out at heavy bags at like 50 pounds. So here at the academy, we have the 100-pound Muay Thai bag. Long bag, I like this because I can practice my low kicks. And then I have the 150-pound heavy bag. 150 pound, there is for people that are heavyweights or people who wish to be able to fight against heavyweights, which myself, I am a heavyweight, as you can see, with this sea of chi around the midsection.
Down into your stomach. The stomach is the source of energy in your body. It is called the sea of chi. Only in my case, it is more like a vast ocean.
Now, get in your triangle stance and punch the heavy bag continuously. Punch, punch. Give me like 100 punches, so it'll be like 50 on both sides. And make sure that you work on relaxing and releasing all of the energy into the heavy bag. The reason why you need this type of resistance is because it gives you great feedback to be able to deliver a maximum amount of power in your triangle stance, and figuring out where all of the energy is flowing to while you're in your triangle stance. Does the energy get stuck in your wrist? You'll know this because your wrist hurts. Does the energy get stuck in your elbow or in your shoulder? If it does, it'll start hurting. Does the energy get stuck in your lower back? It'll start hurting, that's how you know. Or does the energy go straight into the ground through your heel? This way you won't really feel too much energy. Make sure that when you're working out a Chun Man, you're stepping forward with your entire body. What you want to get out of the habit of doing is stepping forward and just punching and stepping back. You want to step forward, punch, step forward, punch, step forward, and punch. Because this way, it gives you the idea of punching through your opponent or punching through your target instead of just punching at your target. Or that way your body adapts or adjusts to the training, realizing that you're punching in a particular way, in a particular pattern. So then it will get rid of all of the cells and muscles that does not help you to punch harder, and it will grow stronger with certain cells or muscles that you need in this particular pathway in order to punch harder. So honestly, most of the reason why our Wing Chun punches lack power is because we don't fully commit to the punches and we're not punching properly. And then once we do punch properly, then we need to add resistance training to it and work on your resistance training as far as punching a heavy bag or punching some type of target, and continuously punch hard whenever you're able to punch hard at a heavy bag or on the pads or whatever. But once we get that down, I want to make sure that we get the technique down. Once we get the technique down, then there's certain exercises that we can do to build up our gung lick or our external power or our external energy so that we can punch even harder. Yeah. Yes, Wing Chun has external. We do use external power. It says we don't fight force with force. It does not mean that we don't use force. There's a difference. We use force. We're just not gonna fight your force. So we do work on building up our external force as well. So go ahead, abuse that like button, chain punch that subscription button. Wait, is that how it go? Or is it abuse out? I said it backwards. So chain punch that like button, abuse out that subscription button. Or I don't know, do one of the two. I don't care which one you do, just do them both. If you want, go ahead and hit the bell notifications as well. And in our next video, we're going to deal with how, with the exercises needed in order to further build up the punching power in your Wing Chun or Kung Fu punches, so that we just not out here looking weak. All right, let's not be weak. Let's punch people for real, like in the face, like here.